As kids head back to school tomorrow, many will be showing their friends their new tech gadgets they got for the holidays. Whether it's a smartphone or a gaming console like an Xbox, children can use these devices to communicate online, not just with friends, but also with people they don't understand are predators. The threat is so serious that Minnesota's Bureau of Criminal Apprehension has an entire unit devoted to internet crimes against children. The BCA not only investigates those crimes, but is aggressively doing outreach and education to warn parents and young people about the threat. Joining me now is the BCA's Training and Education Coordinator for Internet Crimes Against Children, Karina Hedinger. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
All right. I talk to so many parents who say they're on top of it. They know what their kids are doing on social media with all their devices. Is that really possible for a parent to be totally on top of it?
Totally on top of it? Probably not. But the fact that they're attempting to and willing to monitor what their kids are doing online, I commend that. I think that's fantastic.
All right. I know you can't talk about specific cases, but there was a case this fall. Casey Chin is a 23-year-old man who's been charged with luring two 13-year-olds from Andover to his home overnight in Burnsville. That interaction between him and the two kids happened on a forum that I had never heard of. It's called Omegle, I believe?
Omegle.
Omegle.
Omegle. Mm-hmm.
Are there different kinds of things emerging all the time, and there are some formats that parents should be especially worried about?
Well, that's the difficult part, because as we're speaking here, hundreds probably different apps and even different social networking sites are emerging on the internet at all times. And so, yeah, it's very difficult to keep on top of what's going on, but that's why it's really important to listen to your kids. What are they talking about? What are you hearing them talking about with their friends? When are they texting on something? Are they using things like Omegle? Are they still using Facebook? Not many kids are, but or Kik or Yik Yak. There's a new one called Yik Yak. Things like that. Parents really need to kind of just pay attention and listen to what their kids are saying.
Right. One of the things about these formats like Omegle is that it can be anonymous, which is very scary. Do kids understand, because you talk to a lot of school groups, do kids understand about putting their information out there, like what school they go to, that kind of thing? I mean, how big a danger is that?
They really aren't thinking about it at the time that they're doing it. That's the unfortunate part. If we could get the kids to kind of step back a second and think about it before they type it or send it over a text message or put it up on a social networking site, whatever it might be, then we might be having less of this issue. But that's the unfortunate part, is that the kids aren't thinking about what they're putting out there. And in fact, yeah, putting what school you go to might seem somewhat harmless, but as the conversation continues, more and more personal information could be revealed, and that's what can get to be dangerous.
One of the things that you've talked about and talked to people about is the fact that gaming devices like an Xbox, which a lot of people think, oh, it's just a game, also is a problem.
Yeah, because what happens there is that the kids might be in an online gaming system playing a game with people all over the world, and they're having conversations with them, and they don't realize some of the things that they're saying because they're in the middle of playing a game. And so somebody might ask them a question and they might answer, and they might not even realize that they just answered that question or what they had said.
Right. In terms of the predators who are going online, is there any one thing, I mean, what are the key things that kids should not do, that parents need to talk to their kids about?
Just don't give out any personal information.
And that means?
Oh, anything from name, address, what sports you play, what school you go to, what grade you're in, pretty much anything that you can think of that would identify you in some way. Don't share that with people that you don't know in real life. You know, if you're playing a game and you know that the person that you're playing with is the person that you sit next to in social studies, that's a little bit different, because that might be one of your friends. But if you're not sure who you're playing that game with or who you're communicating with, don't share the personal information. Or
even something like, I play for the Bloomington Volleyball Association.
Right, exactly.
That leaves a window open to look up that schedule. In terms of other things that you think parents should know, let me ask you this, what age are we talking about here? At what age should parents be concerned about this?
I feel like talking about this, the younger the better. It's amazing when I've been speaking to kids in safety camps during the summer. Sometimes they're 3rd and 4th graders, and they tell me all the time about how they've got their own cell phones and they're playing on the different apps and the different social networking sites and things like that. So I really feel like the younger the better, especially, you know, with the really young kids. I'm talking even kindergarten and 1st grade, just to get the kids to understand what the technology is about, and then to work in some of those conversations and those kind of just one lines of how to be safe and what to do and what not to do.
Right. At the end of the day, I guess parents really need to keep an open line of communication.
Absolutely, that's what it's all about. Having an open line of communication, continuously talking about this information. Don't just talk about it when something happened and you need to discipline them in some way. Talk about it almost on a daily basis so that they have a reminder that they need to pay attention to what they're doing.
All right, well, Karina Hedinger with the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, thank you so much. And we have posted links on our website at WCCO.com to some of the links that you think parents should take a look at for safety.
Perfect. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you very much.